But what if Ilia Topuria loses to Charles Oliveira in International Fight Week 2025? What is actually at stake for Ilia Topuria with that move up, with fighting Charles Oliveira? What will happen to him if he loses that fight? What is at stake in this video? Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Yo, assalamu alaikum, my nigga. What's good?
It is pretty clear that Charles Oliveira has not much to lose in his fight against Ilia Topuria. Now, of course, you can say he loses the last chance at a title shot or something, but at the end of the day, Charles was the lightweight champion. He defended it multiple times, lost against Islam. He proved he was the man. He is not the very youngest anymore. He's at kind of the edge, right? And he's facing the guy that everyone says is the new killer on the block, who just knocked out two legends back to back. One of them was never been even knocked down with an iron chin, right? And you as Charles Oliveira are famous for getting knocked down in every single fight. So it will not really come surprising for people if you get knocked out in that fight. It will not be like, oh my God, fraud checked or something. You know what I mean? So of course he has a lot to lose, but you get what I mean when I say he does not have anything to lose against Ilia. He's the guy that has everything to win. If he beats Ilia, he's the man, right? But Ilia Topuria on the other side, you have to see, he and Islam both risk a lot with moving up. Because Ilia vacated his belt. Other than Islam got stripped, but right, he didn't want to vacate the belt, but they forced him to. But anyways, Ilia vacated the belt. Now, if we believe the rumors, he vacated it because he himself thinks that he can't and won't make 145 anymore. And that is a very important key point. Because if he loses to Charles, the thing that makes moving up a weight division always so convenient, what made it so convenient for Volk when he moved up against Islam is, hey, if I lose that fight, those guys were just too big for me, and I will just go down to where I am best at, and I will still be the champ down there and just continue on my trajectory, right? It's just kind of a side quest. But with Ilia vacating the 145 belt that is now held by Volkanovski again, it's already in different hands, and moving up a weight division, he risks everything. Because if he loses to Charles, he most definitely cannot just go back down anymore. Because first of all, he's not holding the belt anymore. Second of all, he probably will not get an immediate title shot depending on how the weight division is. Right now, it's kind of weird. There's not really a number one contender other than maybe Mofsar, but he's booked. It's kind of weird. Plus, the biggest factor, he probably won't ever make featherweight again because he himself says he kills himself to make featherweight and he does not want to do that weight cut anymore. So he's limited to lightweight then. Which means he did not lose to Islam, who is that unbeatable champion that no one seems to figure out, and he just racks up title defenses. He then loses to the guy that is the B guy, you know what I mean, that got beat quite soundly by the champion last time around, right? So you're losing to a guy that is not even the champion right now, that got finished by a couple of guys already before, and lost to the number one contender Arman Sarukian as well and all of that, and you lost to that guy. Especially if you get finished, that will hurt your stock so much. So then you're stuck in the lightweight division, in your new division. You have one loss there, 0 wins. Of course, he has a lightweight win against Chai Herberg quite a while ago, but you get what I'm saying. You have no wins, and you're just in nowhere's land, ranked up against killers in that division, and you're not even a champion, right? And that has significant impact on the money you're earning, significant impact on all the sponsorships, significant impact on the fan base, because you have to see, Ilia is at a stage right now where he's talking so cocky, and I love that. That's why I'm a huge fan of Ilia. But he's talking so cocky that if he loses that fight against Charles, his stock will go down significantly, and he will be up against a wall of hate of MMA fans. Because MMA fans are the most reckless fans in the world. They can be cheering for you when you walk into the cage, and when you walk out of the cage after your loss, they will be booing you. They're the most hypocritical, hateful fans ever. We know that ourselves, right? So he risks everything with that move. Because by beating Charles Oliveira, of course, he's the man then. He knocked out Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, and Volkanovski back-to-back, which is a murderer's row, an insane resume. But at the same time, people will always have it like, yeah, but you did not beat the real lightweight champ, right? The guy that you beat got beat as well by Islam Makhachev, right? And as I said, if he loses everything. Everyone will go after him. Everyone will be like, fraud check, blah, 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 this and that. You were never that good, all of that. His stock in the UFC will fall because his stock right now is rising so high, but it is at a point, it's like at a cliff. He's like climbing up, but he's at a cliff at the same point where if he wins that fight, he's climbing up even more and gets higher and higher up. But if he loses that fight, the whole climb that he did with the Max Holloway and Volkanovski wins, he will fall that way down again. In the MMA fans' head at least, right? So he risks losing all his status, losing his whole aura in a way, right? Everyone says Pereira lost his aura because he lost to Ankalaev, which is kind of nonsense, but it is what it is. So he will lose his aura, the fans, he will lose his stock, he will lose sponsorships, he will lose his spot in the UFC, money, all of that. Plus, people will always question him like, he just left his team for that fight. He just left his team that he grew up with, that gym, for this particular fight. So people will question that the whole time, be like this and that, and the hate storm will be crazy for him. So Ilia, despite what a lot of people think, risks everything with that move to lightweight. And whilst I do believe that Ilia Topuria has all the tools to get the job done, fighting Charles Oliveira is always a risky mission. What is your opinion about that whole thing? Write in the comments, like this video guys, subscribe to the channel, become a member as well, support me, I would appreciate that a lot. Check out my merch, bloodsport.net. Stay bloody you guys, and until the next one, bye bye. Bloodsport out.